Democratic Congressman David Cicilline, who sits on the House Judiciary and Foreign Affairs Committee, is first up tonight in our great guest. Congressman, congratulations to you, and good to have you with us tonight. So, you know, when you look at all of those things, right, around the world, you look at the economy, so that the Democrats now control the House. Where do you want to take the country? What's your #1 priority?
Well, I think, Martha, thanks for having me. Democrats ran on an agenda that reflects our commitment to the people of this country, not to the powerful special interests. And we specifically ran on 3 priorities. 1, driving down health care costs, particularly the cost of prescription drugs, protecting coverage for pre-existing conditions, and driving down the cost of health care broadly. Second issue is helping to raise family incomes, families who are working 2 and 3 jobs just to get by. And we're going to do that by investing in a serious way in rebuilding America, our roads, our bridges, our schools, our ports, our transit systems, with a bold infrastructure plan that will create 16 million good-paying jobs and rebuild the country. And thirdly, that we're going to take on in a serious way the pervasive corruption in Washington, the self-dealing that we've seen in Washington, and that's the first bill we'll introduce, H.R. 1.
All right, let me ask you about that.
So that's a lot.
Priority. Okay, I hear you. In terms of raising the economic status of American citizens, that is a major underpinning of why people want to see a secure border. They believe that if we don't have a constant influx of illegal immigrants coming into the country, that eventually that's a downward pressure on wages around the country. That those jobs and the jobs in manufacturing, all of that would benefit from a pause of the influx of immigration into the country. That's really the heart of the matter. Do you disagree with that?
Yeah, I do disagree with that. I don't think there's any evidence to support the notion that immigration is resulting in a downward movement on wages. I mean, there are a lot of other reasons, our tax policies, regulatory policies. There are a number of labor policies that contribute to lower wages, and I think we're very focused on how we increase family incomes. But let me be very clear. Democrats support securing our borders. We just think it should be done in a wise and thoughtful way, using the best technology, the best advancements in technology, so that it's effective.
Okay. So what we've heard, and just to back up for a moment, a lot of people would vehemently disagree with your assessment of the impact of illegal immigration on jobs in America. However, I want to ask you about the border, because I know you all want to pass a bill tonight that would satisfy the funding for 6 of the agencies and kick it off another week for DHS in terms of the funding for those. Why not address it head on? Why not do what Democrats have said for years and years? President Obama said, Schumer said, all of them, that you want to secure the border. Why is this such a difficult task to provide the funding for?
I don't think it's a difficult path. I think the president wants a fight, and he wants the government shut down. He's made that very clear. What we're proposing tonight is fund the 6 departments. There's no dispute about that. There's a bipartisan bill that was passed unanimously in the Senate. We're proposing the same thing. Let's get that part of the government funded to the end of the fiscal year. The place where there's disagreement, the Department of Homeland Security, let's do a short-term continuing resolution to February 8th.
Don't you think Americans are so exhausted with hearing that you all cannot work this out? You've had months to deal with this. At one point, you were behind $25 billion in providing a secure border. And, I want to play Lindsey Graham here.
Martha,
let me play Lindsey Graham, and then I want to get your reaction.
Before you do that? Okay.
Go ahead. Let's play it, and then I promise I'll give you a chance to respond.
I'll tell you exactly how this is going to end. The president is going to challenge the Democrats to compromise, and if they continue to say no, they're going to pay a price with the American people. If he gives in now, that's the end of 2019 in terms of him being an effective president. That's probably the end of his presidency.
He thinks it's politically dumb if Democrats do not take this seriously.
I think it's politically dumb what the president is doing. Let's be clear about one thing. We've appropriated $1.7 billion over the last 2 years for border security. Democrats voted for that. We understand that we have to invest more in border security. We just want to do it in a cost-effective, smart, thoughtful way that will actually achieve the objective. There will be additional money for border security in the bill that we're going to pass. But we don't think spending $70 billion on a 1,000-mile concrete wall, which is a 19th century solution for a 21st century problem.
That he's open to the options that you're talking about.
Well,
but
he's not.
Like you hear all of this. Hold on.
No,
you hear all this lip service.
True.
You hear all this lip service about working together and how we all want a secure border. But
look, Martha, we up until today, the Republicans were in control of the House, the Senate, and the White House. If they thought a concrete wall was such a great idea, they would have done it 2 years ago. The fact is, the American people don't support it. It's not cost effective.
And you know they didn't have the votes in the Senate.
It doesn't achieve the objective that we need. So we need to come together and invest in border security, but we need to do it in a way that doesn't waste taxpayer money.
You live in a sanctuary state. Do you support the sanctuary state in your home state?
I don't live in a sanctuary state. Look, the reality is we all support border security. We've appropriated money for border security. We want it to be done in a way that actually achieves the objective. More personnel, cargo inspections, satellites, drones. Let's use technology to secure our border in a smart way.
Well, Democrats have been talking about it since the Obama administration, since the Clinton administration. So I think there's a lot of frustration with the American people out there. And I think politically it is tenuous to not deal with this issue. So we'll see how you guys do, and we'll see how the other side does, and what the president can sign as we move forward. Thank you very much. I really appreciate you being here tonight.
Thanks for having me.
You bet.